Let's ride.
Oh no.
Let's ride.
No, do that.
Let's ride. Let's ride.
Did you start it?
Yeah, I did. Of course. Let's ride.
This is how we're starting.
We're gonna
Oh my
start it with a
god.
little bit of Russell Wilson. We're gonna let's ride.
It's so uncomfortable.
That's all right. If you don't know what we're talking about, just Google Russell Wilson. Let's ride. Broncos country. Let's ride.
It's everywhere. And if you like college football or professional football, everybody's remaking it.
Everybody in the football
So,
world is just memeing Russell Wilson, and it is
haha.
actually very funny. I love it.
Um,
Welcome everybody,
hey,
party people. Welcome in. It's a great week. I said it last week. I'll say it again this week. It's a great week to be alive.
this the reason you say that is because it's chaotic, and
Yeah,
I understand.
crazy week.
Yeah.
But hey, that comes with the territory of just weeks. So
Weeks, like being alive and being an adult and having to work.
yeah, you know what I mean. You know what I'm gonna pull up something that is making me very happy, and it is the latest picture of the puppy situation. And
Yeah.
oh my goodness, I am
Yeah.
so excited.
Ah.
Shared a picture last week, shared it this week. Next week, we will actually
Oh,
be able to
God.
do a Simba reveal live on stream because we're getting him on Saturday.
It's banner week.
Yes, it is. And you just leaked the name.
Shit. Okay, now you have to talk about it because
Now I
I
have to talk
leaked
about
it.
it. So the jig is up. Apparently, we're going to do a live reveal. So Matthew just absolutely fucked
Okay,
that up.
sorry. You can still do the Simba thing though.
Yeah, that's all right. We'll do a face reveal. But yes, the dog's name is Banner. I honestly credit given where credit is due. Matt Jordan actually named our dog, which is funny. It's so his birthday. He was born on July 4th, so it's like Star Spangled Banner, but also there's a Marvel play with Bruce Banner and the Hulk. So it's like a twofold double meaning name, and we like it
And it's unique.
for a little boy golden retriever. So we're excited. Can't wait. Saturday afternoon, and it's gonna be a little addition to our small family here.
So can you please can you just also call him Bruce as a nickname? Like
When he's got the zoomies, we're gonna call him
Bruce.
Hulk.
Yeah.
I got him a harness, and it's a purple and green harness
Oh my
because
god.
I had to play a little bit into the Hulk, and
You should.
he's got a toy that is the Hulk. So there will be a couple fun little Instagram posts about the Hulk.
This is great.
Yeah,
This is great.
yeah, it's
Lots
great.
of good ideas flowing here.
The juices are flowing. You may or may not see this dog all over Instagram. Who knows? Maybe he'll be the next dog fluencer.
He could.
Just made that up. I don't like that word.
Just wait like 3 weeks.
Yeah,
Our puppy's coming too,
a little
baby.
bit. We're gonna have the best of buds who knows when they're gonna meet, but they'll be meeting eventually.
At some point,
Yeah,
one of them might have to take a flight to see their friend.
or a long drive. Who knows?
Long road trip.
Who knows? We'll see. I mean, you come up to Chicago more often than I go to Atlanta because I've never been to Atlanta.
True.
So maybe it's going to be you bringing your pup, who I don't even know the name of, so I can't even leak the name.
We don't know yet. You can't leak it.
So I will be leaking it
Got your ass.
to, all of the people.
We have a list, but we just don't know yet.
Yeah.
So
I fully understand. So yeah, that's the latest on the dog front, and I am pumped to say the least because look at these three young lads. I mean, just take a second to enjoy this. Like, my God, we don't know yet which one we're getting. We've got the third spot, so we'll get the last boy available. But I mean, I will be absolutely ecstatic with any of these three
Goldens are just the
strapping
best.
young lads.
Look at them. Oh my lord.
They're great, and he's going to be awesome. So tune in next week for a live Simba face reveal as I just carry him up into the shot like this. You could literally just Photoshop the dog into this picture right now, and that's going to be next week.
What time are you getting him? You're getting him Saturday.
It's Saturday night. Yeah. So we're not going to get him until 8:00 Saturday night. So we'll bring him home, do a chilled night at home. Probably spend all day at home with him on Sunday, get him acclimated to his new house, and just get to know him and start training and eating and all that. So
So I'm
it's gonna be
adding
a chill little weekend. Pictures will be
um
sent and shared around with all of our fun party people.
I'm adding a an event in my calendar called FaceTime Banner.
Yes, please do.
And first thing Sunday morning, I'm just gonna tell you right now, we're with Morgan and Tim, who also have a golden. For those that don't know,
Yeah, Wrigley.
um, on Saturday night. On Saturday night, when you get banner, so at least you're gonna have to send a picture because they're gonna be dying.
Oh, absolutely. I'll for sure send pictures. We can FaceTime Sunday morning and we can get Wrigley and Banner introduced to each other.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah, because everybody knows that dogs love each other. It's just the beautiful thing of having a dog.
Do you want to get into some gaming stuff?
Yeah, absolutely.
Headlines.
Why don't you kick us off with the first one?
Headline stuff. Nothing crazy because I like the quick hitters. I like the structure that we're doing. You guys give us feedback if you if you have any ideas, tips and tricks, any feedback on the headline stuff. But um just continued like our gaming and sports crossover stuff. We had a couple new headlines this week. For those that play Fortnite, Patrick Mahomes, quarterback of the Kansas City
His
Chiefs.
mom will yell at you if she hears you say Pat Mahomes. So it's Patrick Mahomes.
She can yell at me. It's Pat. So
Do you remember that? It
um
was like 2 years ago when
sounds like my mom.
she publicly said like it's not Pat. Stop calling him Pat, and it was directed
No.
towards all of the announcers.
Just
And so then,
no.
of course, the next week they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna have some fun with this one." So it's like, "Oh, Patrick is doing this, and Patrick is doing that." Sorry, completely off. Not
Anyway,
really off topic, but carry on.
no, but he's entering Fortnite as a character, which Fortnite is like what a game, and I haven't played it in so long. But also like there are so many characters in this game, it's unbelievable. Honestly, since I played it so early, I bet I could sell that account and make some money off of it because the skins that I have on that account are probably rare because they don't. I don't think they re-released some of them early for.
Don't you have the John Wick skin? Isn't that one pretty rare because it was from
I
like season 3 or something?
I might. I don't know. I'd have to look.
And I think I want to say the skeleton
Hmm.
skin as well is I don't
Hmm.
know off the top of my head. I would actually be curious to see what skins you have, even that I have. I don't think I have as many as you do because I didn't play as much. Um, but yeah, I'd be curious to look at that
Yeah, I
of
don't
like
know.
what's
I'll
considered
log back
rare.
into
But it's
back in
cool.
Xbox.
It's cool to see all these new characters coming into Fortnite. I mean, you've got Master Chief, obviously now Patrick Mahomes. I think The Rock has a character. Um, there's a ton of different anime characters out now. I think the newest one, even well, I don't know the sequence of it, if it was Patrick Mahomes first or if it was Dragon Ball Z first. But as of like this last week, both of those are out. So it's cool. I mean, I think they've definitely taken a more mainstream media approach with Fortnite, which is a theme here that we've talked about for a while. That it's not just like the cool custom skins, they're actually signing partnerships and doing more media focused and like basic entertainment focused co-branded skins, which is cool to see in the game.
I looked up a top 10 list of the most rare skins. That's interesting.
What you got?
Um, actually, number one is the aerial assault trooper. Um, but that's just one that was only available. It was chapter one, season one before the battle pass.
Okay. So
Which
one
is
of the OG skins.
yes, Renegade Raider, which was another chapter one, season one, and then Galaxy, which I feel like you would remember. This is
Oh,
the
I
character
absolutely
like
remember this.
literally,
This was the one
yeah,
that like they introduced with
it's like
Ninja.
Samsung.
Yeah,
Yeah, but wasn't it like Samsung,
it was
like
so I think
promotion?
Ninja was the one who introduced it, but it was in partnership with Samsung for the Galaxy phones.
Oh,
Um,
it was only available for players who purchased a Samsung Galaxy Note 9
yeah, that
or a Samsung Galaxy
and it
Tab
was like
S4.
one of the coolest skins too. I've got them
Yeah,
pulled
it's
up now.
nuts.
Um, just going through. So the Reaper is 10, which is technically um I'm I literally just said his name, John Wick.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, 9 is Royal Bomber or Royale Bomber.
Uh-huh.
8's Black Widow, which this is a cool skin, Marvel skin.
I don't remember Royale Bomber. I don't remember Black
I
Widow.
I actually do remember Royale Bomber. It was a PS4 bundle exclusive, which is why it's one
Mm.
of the it's from 2018, which is one of
Mm.
like the earlier ones. Um let's see. Black Widow skin was first released back in 2018, and it has been completely absent from the item store since May of 2019.
Mm.
So this is some of the OGs who have this. The Honor Guard was a phone exclusive skin. So you had to
Ah,
purchase the Honor View 20 smartphone, which I don't even know what phone that is.
no
Um,
idea.
Double Helix was only available with a Nintendo Switch bundle. Black Knight, this is one of like the coolest
Black Knight's
ones.
sick, yeah.
This was from Chapter 1, Season 2 in the Battle Pass. And it was players who maxed out the first ever Battle Pass. This is like, in my opinion, the coolest skin
I
in
actually
Fortnite.
don't think I have it, but I was playing at that point.
Yeah, I definitely don't have it, but it's a cool one.
Mm.
Special Forces was a Chapter 1, Season 1. You already mentioned this
Yeah,
one.
it's these are all the chapter one
And then
season
yeah,
ones.
this is the Galaxy skin. That was like
Mhm.
it was super cool. I remember the first person who I actually saw who had it was Ninja. Um, I was at the time I was like, oh, this is the coolest thing ever. I need a
Mhm.
Galaxy phone, and it's
Mhm.
like, no, I don't need a Galaxy phone.
No, no, I don't. No.
um, Renegade Raider is from Chapter 1, Season 1, and then the Aerial Assault Trooper, which like it's a cool skin, but it literally is just like if you know
Just
you
basic.
know
It's just
type of
OG.
skin. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's epitome if you know you know. I would
Hmm.
say, in my opinion, the coolest one's Galaxy and then Black Knight.
Oh yeah.
But it's interesting. I'd be curious to see between the two of us, like how many of these do either of us have? Most of
I'm
them
not
not,
sure I
because a
have
lot of them
any.
were purchase a specific item. Um, but interesting concept. I like that.
Hmm.
And I'm sure you could look too to see if there's anybody selling their Fortnite account because of the skins included with it.
Oh, I'm sure. Um. Okay. Anyway, that's our Fortnite update. Another thing that is happening. Nate Shot made it into the PGA Tour 2K23 trailer. Uh,
Common theme here:
it's so funny.
mainstream
It's just
media.
they just like well, it's the biggest streamers, and they continue to find ways to sneak their way into these um professional sports.
They sure do.
Big
Um,
fan.
I think it's awesome. I mean,
Hmm.
we've seen Nate Shot obviously is a very large name in the gaming industry, owner, creator, founder, and owner of 100 Thieves, and he was in a Rockstar Energy commercial during the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
I mean, countless different content pieces for 100 Thieves, and he's just continuing to really make a name for himself as like the representative of mainstream media for gaming.
Oh yeah.
Um, so I think it's great to see. Another one too is Nick Merckx made an appearance in the Madden 2023
Yeah,
um,
yeah, yeah. I forgot about that
with
one.
the commercial with the NFL. So the two of them both obviously huge personalities, um, and continuing to just absolutely make massive strides for the gaming industry and mainstream media.
It's awesome. Um, what else is going on? Okay, a couple more headlines. YouTube is releasing a podcast section. I know not everybody may care about this, but like looking at gaming in general, also looking at just like YouTube as a platform, and uh, they continue to adapt. I mean, it's like you think about like YouTube gaming has gotten a lot bigger, and they signed a lot of different streamers, and now they are trying to compete with Spotify and have a podcast section. So very interesting.
Um,
Any
I'm
thoughts on that one?
I'm curious to see how it actually comes to life and like what the discoverability is for shows that are being featured there, and
Mm.
like what are the requirements to be included in that section as well. It's definitely something that we're going to be looking into. Is it just like going to be a flip of the switch of like, yes, this show's a podcast so it goes into this section, or what?
Hmm.
we're gonna try our best to get featured in that section for sure.
Feature
Um,
us.
but yeah,
We'll volunteer.
I think it's a great addition, especially with the growth of podcasts in the last few years. A lot of shows are now streaming live on YouTube. If they're not streaming, they're putting full episodes on YouTube. So it makes complete sense to have a section for it, especially
Yeah.
if there's interest from quite a few people. And you think about YouTube. I mean, YouTube's the second largest search engine in the world next to
Hmm.
Google, and Google owns both. So it makes sense for discoverability and SEO and all of that to have a podcast specific section because YouTube's a place that people are going to come searching for content like this.
They've got their hands in everything. It's so interesting because what was the other thing? Oh, so we use YouTube TV.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's another good example. They
Yeah.
and it's great. Like I would not go back to cable. They actually just added a new feature where like because I'm on my parents' account and you can have up to 3 screens, but they just did like a family feature now
Mm-hmm.
to where like remember how I always have this issue because it's like I log into YouTube to like throw up our stream or whatever like it logs me into my dad's account every time because Google like recognizes like it's trying to if I'm on YouTube TV, I have to be on his account
Okay.
because he's the one that has the account. That's what I'm using. But then if I go to YouTube to do something else, like to watch our stream or whatever, it thinks that I'm Mark Lyon. So like it's just annoying. I have to switch accounts and like it's yeah. Anyway, so now they're doing like a family feature, kind of like Netflix, where like you can have multiple accounts on YouTube TV. So I'll have my own profile, my own like DVR, like library and all that stuff too. So
Interesting. And
making YouTube better.
for those of us watching on YouTube, my camera just froze, so I'm also trying to figure out how to reset this in OBS. So, but we
Yeah,
will
he's just like
continue.
staring downward,
Yeah, it's just me
not
looking
even
down.
looking at me.
Um, so as I work on this, let's continue, and I'll get
Okay,
my camera back up and running.
I can keep going through some headlines. So along the same lines, we're talking about streaming. Twitch. This is kind of a big one. And I don't really know what the implications are of this, to be honest. I'm just interested to see what's going to happen. But
Hmm.
Twitch is now allowing their partners to stream on other platforms. So they took that out of the, I don't know, I guess it was like a contractual obligation that they weren't supposed to stream on other different platforms.
Yep. So this is an
Um,
interesting one because it broadens the horizon for Twitch partners of like what they can actually do, um, from a streaming standpoint. This A lot of people may read the headlines and think that they're able to um, stream anywhere. That's not necessarily the case here. So you're still, as a Twitch partner, you're still technically not allowed to simultaneously stream to YouTube or Facebook. Those are the two
Mm.
platforms that they specifically
yeah.
called out. Um, I would say Trovo's probably included in there as well. It's a smaller streaming platform. It's more of an international streaming platform, but it does exist. Where they've said that you can simultaneously stream to is short form video platforms like a Instagram Live or a
Mm.
TikTok.
Okay, that's interesting.
I think a TikTok one is really interesting because there's a ton of interest from creators to stream on there just because of the discoverability of TikTok. So for
Oh
partners to
yeah,
be able to have a stream up on both platforms there, that's huge. Um,
they will be
this
using that.
Twitch partners will, I believe, they're able to stream on YouTube if they like, but they can't be streaming to Twitch at the same time. So that's where it does, loosen up the exclusivity language there as well.
Mm.
But ultimately, and I will say I did watch a Harris Heller video on this earlier today that I'm always interested in to get his take on some of this industry news. And he made a good point where he said that this is pretty much a move for Twitch to kind of stop the bleeding right now with their partners
Mhm.
because you've got so many creators making the switch to YouTube and signing these massive YouTube contracts, and there are still creators to come who are going to be going to YouTube, from what
Yeah.
he said, that like this is their play to still try and get revenue from the Twitch partners who are still streaming to Twitch.
Hmm.
And it's like a almost like a, we know we're losing the battle and we need to stop the bleeding as much as possible so we can continue to make money.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to keep an eye on this one just from a business standpoint as well, because I think there's a lot of implications just in the streaming world, and for creators overall, I would say it's a good thing.
Well, yeah, because I mean, you think I would have to imagine, YouTube's got a lot of money to pay these creators, and also like you said, YouTube being the number 2 search engine in the world, like there's a lot of discoverability and um, there's a lot of viewership on YouTube, so it makes sense for a Twitch streamer to switch over to YouTube, make more money, and anyway, so Twitch, I'd be curious, like what kind of cross viewership they'd get from TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
But like you see I get streamers that like come across my feed all the time on TikTok. So I can imagine if you're streaming and you're one of the bigger streamers, like I would stop scrolling on TikTok to watch live.
Oh,
One of
absolutely.
my
I've done
favorite,
it.
one of my favorite streamers.
Yeah, I mean, I've even done it with creators who I don't know all that well on
Yeah.
TikTok, and I've discovered creators who are streaming on TikTok and they're also streaming on Twitch because they're not a
Yeah.
Twitch partner and they have the ability to do that. Like TikTok from a live perspective is pushing that so much into the algorithm that if you're live, there's a very good chance that you're showing up on a For You page and coming across
Mhm.
that feed. So, yes, absolutely. I think this is a good thing from a discoverability standpoint. But you also have to think about, as a partner, you already have a large enough audience to be considered a Twitch partner. So, while you're still always wanting to grow as large of an audience as possible, is it as effective as it would be for like an affiliate who can already do
Mhm.
that? So
Yeah.
things to think about. I ultimately think from a creator standpoint, it's a good thing. And it's just going to allow creators to build more and more, or build larger audiences on more and more platforms, which ultimately is going to mean more money in their pockets, and it's going to be a good thing overall. So
Yeah.
um, I'm curious to keep an eye on this one for sure.
Yep. Um, let's get into a few more things that I noticed. Did you see? I need to actually like look at this one. But that PS5 controller that came out, it's got to be okay. Hold on, let me backtrack because my brain's all over the place today. They PlayStation 5, or I guess Sony introduced a new PlayStation 5 DualSense high performance controller. That's got to be competing with the Elite, right?
100%.
Yeah.
I think it's more so competing with like Scuff and Battle Beaver and these third party companies, because it's the
Yeah.
equivalent to the Xbox Elite controller, because
Mhm.
it's Sony and it's going to go for the PlayStation. And I can pull up I've got an image of the actual
Picture.
controller. Is I'm curious to hear opinions on it and like watch reviews of how it actually performs. It was introduced at Gamescom Germany, which is happening this weekend, um, and you can see in the picture that I've got on screen there are some paddles on the front, which I think is interesting because the main concept of a controller like this is to free up your thumbs to keep them on the thumbsticks with the
Yeah.
paddles on the back.
Mhm.
Um, from
I'm wondering if those don't come like kind of loop around to the back.
so
They do look like buttons though. Like they do look like paddles.
Yeah, they're definitely paddles, and I did see another angle of this of the back, and there are two paddles on the back, and this is what I don't know, and this is where I'm curious to hear others' opinions who actually review these. Um, is it looks kind of similar to the Scuff controller right now that has like two buttons on the back that your thumb can sit between. So
Mm.
what I don't know is if the paddles on the back go multiple ways, if that makes sense. Like if you push it up, it's one button, push it down, it's another button.
Yeah.
Or if it literally is just you get two paddles, those are mapped to two buttons, and then you get the two buttons on the front that we see in this picture here
I don't
that
know.
are for other buttons. So I'm curious. I think this is 100% competing with the Scuff
Well,
controllers, and knowing how much people love these DualSense
that's what I was gonna
PlayStation
say.
5 controllers, I think this is going to be a hit.
Yeah, because this is like they already kind of have an advantage with like making it more of an interactive experience using your controller in your hand. And if you are also playing to that competitive side where people want to be really good at video games but
Yeah.
also be immersed in the experience, then this is a really good play.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I completely agree. And keep talking. I'm trying to reset my camera right now.
um, okay, so we were talking about the controller. There's a couple COD things I want to bring up, and then I think we should move on to some Apex. We have some interesting topics I want to kind of get into, but
For sure.
COD is adding some interesting skins to these guns. First, I saw I. It's so
Well,
funny
can we
because
talk about the gun itself, not just the skins? I know that
oh no,
pixel
but
skin, but the gun
there's two.
itself.
Okay, the pixel skin or the 8-bit skin. If you haven't seen, I don't even know what guns for. I just come across this stuff on Twitter, and I'm like, "What?" Tim, it was Tim the Tab Man,
Hold
the
up.
one that's
Hold
promoting
up.
it.
Hold up. It's for the EX1, which
The 8-bit is
the gun itself is a laser gun.
literally a laser. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like it's kind of like a charge rifle in Apex.
and in Vanguard, it doesn't have it has unlimited ammo.
Yeah, it's
People
dumb.
are freaking out because they're like, COD had to come out and say something like, yeah, Warzone, it has limited ammunition.
Like concerning what this gun can do. And from the videos that I've seen,
What are we doing?
there is zero recoil. You gotta
What is this? What are we doing?
you gotta look up some of the clips that have come out today of people using the EX1 in Warzone, because there is literally zero recoil. When I talked to Sean about Warzone, he's like, warming up for Warzone by playing Apex is the greatest move that you can possibly do, because playing Apex, you get your recoil control down, and then going to Warzone, a game that really does not have any recoil, which I never really understood until I made the switch fully to Apex.
Yeah.
Like, whoa. Yeah,
Yeah.
seeing these
Yeah.
videos of like,
COD's like easy.
oh my.
Yeah. I'm gonna go look at a clip right now.
Warzone 2 is going to be interesting. Going back from playing Apex for so long, I'm curious like what my KD's going to do.
This 8-bit skin literally like lags. That's crazy.
Yeah, it looks.
It
really
doesn't
cool.
move.
And there's a video too, which if you give me a second, I can pull it up. And I'm just gonna go ahead and just chalk out my camera as a loss right now. So apologies for you party people who are watching live. But let me find this video of the 8-bit skin with the camos. I can show. Here is just the skin that we're talking about right here, which like it honestly, it looks really cool. Looks straight out of Minecraft, has that 8-bit feel. It's a really, really cool blueprint. I do like it a lot.
I mean, yeah.
But look at just how weird the mastery camos look on it. Gold, my personal opinion, I think gold looks terrible. Hold on, it's gonna take me a second to find this. Here we go. Is modern Warzone tweet. He's gonna cycle through some of these and we can talk. But the gold one is pretty much like that all black pattern with a little bit of gold accents. It looks super weird. It's almost like you can't even see it. And then the diamond,
so weird,
is very similar. Honestly, when the light shines on it, it's really cool. But I think that Atomic looks terrible on it. It looks super, super weird.
Oh my god. Once again, I ask, what are we doing? COD.
You know what
Like,
they're
why
doing?
do we have laser guns in here? Are you making, honestly, are they tanking this game?
No, I don't think they're tanking it. I think they're doing something so out of the box that they are trying to give people a reason to come back for the game, to buy the battle pass, knowing full well that everything that's purchased this season is not going to carry into Warzone 2. So they're trying to keep people spending their money. So they saved a big gun like this that people are going to talk about and want to use for the last season. It's like that last hurrah. I think that they're going to put a lot of emphasis on season 5. I've heard a lot of really good reviews about season 5, that it is on the first day already playing well, regardless of how broken or weird this gun might be, that there's definitely a focus for it to perform well and get the hype back up for Warzone leading into season 2. Because think about when Warzone came out in March of 2020. Like, it has been 2.5 years pretty much of this one game. It's like they want to put all their eggs in the Warzone 2 basket, but in order to have that to be a success, you need to have a lot of hype and a good experience, ending on a good note with Warzone 1. And I think that's what they're trying to do here.
I still just am kind of speechless because I don't know. I just think of Modern Warfare 2019 basically just like standing alone, and it was during the middle of the pandemic, and all circumstances pointed toward that game was just so. Warzone was just a new experience of a battle royale, and here we are with laser guns. So, I get it. Yeah, it's gonna definitely generate some people talking about it. Um,
And it already has. That's for
yeah,
sure. So it's
yeah.
one that I think we're gonna get some really funny clips out of, and that might be what they're looking for. Honestly, just get that hype back up before Warzone 2 starts.
Maybe they're
So
just trying to make it so outlandish that like when Warzone 2 and Modern Warfare 2 rolls around and it's back to like just like straightforward modern warfare, but like really crisp.
yeah, yeah.
That when everything is crazy in this one, now we're back to normal.
Bring
That would
me
be cool.
home. Well,
Bring me
and
back
and
to
and you
normal.
already know that Warzone 2, it's gonna start like all new Call of Duty games start, and it's like basic skins. Everybody's unlocking the guns. It's like version 1, obviously, of everything. And
Yep.
then I'm curious to see how quickly they start to introduce things like this 8-bit EX1 freaking laser rifle and all of these crazy things. Like all the weird stuff always comes at the back half of the game, but this time for Warzone 2, when you have people who are already so dedicated into Warzone, what's that schedule looking like? Because they're going to want to make as much money as possible. So I have a feeling they're going to start implementing these weirder, crazier things a little bit earlier into the game.
Oh my god. Well, anyway, that's for another day because I have not touched COD. I've been obsessed with Apex and I want to talk about it. But before we go into that, last COD thing, Rebirth Island's coming back. Week 2, season 5, they're doing a Rebirth After Dark.
Rebirth After Dark, I think, is going to be really cool.
That actually would be really fun.
I was a big fan of Verdansk at night, and I think that this is going to be really cool. Might be worth dropping into to another game or two.
Yeah, might be. Yeah,
We'll
we
see.
could get away from Apex.
We'll see. We'll see.
Apex keeps dragging me back in, but I love it. Okay, speaking of, shall we partake in Apex?
Let's do it.
Okay, so I want to play a game because I saw this.
Let's ride.
I saw this. No. I
Yeah.
saw.
By the way, if you're watching live and are wondering why my camera is just absolutely chalked, apologies. I just unplugged it and plugged it back in. I'm not sure why it's frozen. We're gonna chalk this one up as a loss.
You're just staring. You were looking at something down there, Kev.
I was looking at my phone
I'm
because
not.
I got it because I got a text.
Me and the viewers may not believe that.
Get out of here.
Okay, so Apex. Okay, I saw this fan-inspired thing. It's kind of an article, but I want to play this game first before we talk about this sort of concept. So I want to play a game called Overpowered, Underpowered. And I think we should name top two overpowered and top two underpowered legends in Apex right now, as of season 14.
Okay.
Stats cam broke.
We're just gonna.
Cam scuffed.
We're getting real. Cam is
Okay.
scuffed.
I like how you just throw this in there live. Okay. All right. We're playing the game, so you're starting. Top two. Go underpowered. No, go overpowered first.
You want overpowered first?
Overpowered legends first.
Seer.
You still think Seer is overpowered?
I mean, you've got an unlimited heartbeat, and you throw that ult up, and you've got walls.
Mm-hmm.
Granted,
Okay.
yes, it's a limited amount of time in a certain area, but like, I don't know, man. I think Sears. I also probably helps.
Especially end game.
Yeah, oh yeah, end game is huge. You save your ult for the final circle, and you know where
Yeah.
everybody's at. I personally, I would put Seer on that. Right now, I'm gonna say Vantage is 2, and my reasoning behind that is because you essentially have a never-ending ult, and it's like you're carrying 3 guns at all times.
Yep.
And you have the ability to, knowing how many people are on a squad and what armor they have is actually huge, just tactical information to know. When you're calling that out, when we're running around in ranked games, that's good to know who to push, who to not push.
Yeah, it determines our rotations.
100% determines your rotations. And rotations being such an important thing on Kings Canyon, that is a very, I think, under talked about, underutilized ability.
I kind of feel like it's generally intentional. Like I feel like they're eventually gonna find some way to nerf Vantage. So I am using Vantage solely right now.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely think that when the nerf comes, it'll probably be mostly with her ult. Because isn't it right now, like once you shoot and you're down to 4 bullets, it charges back up to 5 or something like that?
Yeah.
So what I think that to buff it
takes 30 seconds.
Yeah. So what I think to buff it is that you get 5 shots. And then once your 5 shots are gone, they don't replenish. Like if you're at 3, it's not continuously replenishing. You have to use your 5 and then it resets your clock to replenish them all. I think that's probably what we'll see at some point. So yeah, right now, based off of my
that's interesting. That's a very interesting point, though. I'm just thinking through that because if you got through, if that would force you to like wait to charge the whole thing, especially if you had like 3 bullets, you have to make a decision whether, like, if you're far from a team, you only have 3 bullets. If you're using those 3 bullets right then, because they don't charge back up, until you use all 3.
Yes.
So you couldn't use 1 and then charge back all the way back up.
Yes, I think that's where she's broken because you always have, like, how many times do we run into a situation where you don't have a sniper bullet to fire? It's very rare.
I don't really say it out loud though. It's not like a call out that you would know, but
true.
Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts on that because I think when you compare, and I you know what, you did the OP, I'll do the underpowered because this is kind of goes along with what I was talking about with this fan inspired thing. Underpowered, I would agree with this fan concept. So Pathfinder was one in this article they're talking about that I hadn't even thought of because I used to use Path. But honestly, using Pathfinder is just incredibly like useless. Because at one point when, like, you probably don't know this, Kev, but Pathfinder used to be the only legend that if he scanned the beacons, that he was the only one that could use the beacons. Now they changed that. It's not an advantage if you have a Pathfinder anymore because everybody, like most likely you're gonna have one person on your team that can scan the beacons. And then also they nerfed the what is it, the grapple, like the regular grapple. I guess that's the tactical.
Yeah.
And it doesn't charge up as much. That was a huge advantage. The movement was insane.
You're
Like
just slinging around the
oh
map.
my, it was like people were like Batman. It was nuts. People were
Spider-Man,
like,
actually.
or Spider-Man. Yeah. People were like literally Spider-Man around the map. And like facing a path was not fun because they could escape so quick, but also they come in like swooping out of nowhere and just annihilate you. Like paths were good. But
Pathfinder,
now
Pathfinder, swinging
yes,
around like
does whatever a
Pathfinder.
Pathfinder does.
Yeah.
Uh yeah, and now like it takes too long. So what's the point? And then also the ult takes so long to charge up, and it's like early game, if having a path and having like a zip line would have been really cool. But now you have a bunch of movement characters like Ash you can use as a movement character. Wraith you can use like where your whole team can take the same route. Uh and it's not even like you can get to that like high of distances necessarily. Um Also as an ult, like the rest of every other team can also use your ultimate.
Mhm.
As a using a zip line. So anyway, my thought is that like comparing the two, like compare Vantage versus Pathfinder, right? As my passive, as a Vantage, I get all the team information. That's nuts.
That's
For
huge.
me to like look
It's
like say
very
we're at
underrated.
Caustic and we're completely across like on one side of Caustic to the other, or like looking at No Name, like that town, and we know that there's a team of blues. I think this literally just happened when Sean and I were playing. Team of blue shields. We all had purple. We're like, all right, we're pushing. Like that's my passive. That's not even like that's compare that to Pathfinder, and his passive is technically scanning the beacons. Well, Vantage can scan the beacons.
Yep.
How does it help? Uh, and then also, I don't know if you realize this. I just learned this like literally today. There's a video. So when you're using the sniper and Vantage's ult, there's a little blue circle that pops up, and it's the rangefinder. This is I was looking this up before we got on the pod. The rangefinder, it basically moves this little circle on your near your reticle. That's where the like it accounts for bullet drop as your sniper, and that's where the bullet's gonna hit. Is there's a middle of the reticle, and then there's also this little blue circle.
And on top of that, there already is like no bullet drop on the Vantage
Well,
sniper.
no, there is,
Not a
but
lot.
but the thing is, no, and here's where I think the other nerf is going to come in for the ult is that it's super forgiving right now,
Yeah.
and I think that's on purpose because why would you drop a new legend in and then like it's so hard to hit with a sniper?
Yeah.
Like I can hit, I'm a good shot, but like there's plenty of shots where it's pretty forgiving.
It's almost like you are looking down the scope, and when you're ADSing ready to take a shot, the player's hitbox goes like
A little
times
bit
point
bigger.
times 1.5.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
It's not like you're sniping with a Kraber.
Oh no. Yeah. So it's fun to use. I will tell you that.
Oh,
I love using Vantage.
I'm sure I haven't used her yet personally, but from watching you and other players use them or use her, she looks like a lot of fun to use, and it's
Also,
definitely nice to have her on your team
yeah.
to get all that additional information about the
Yep.
squads you're going up against.
And the movement piece too. I like that's almost like a Loba-ish kind of deal where
Yeah, you
like I
get
can use
around
Echo to
quick,
relocate. Yeah.
surprisingly quick with Echo.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And to higher distances, which also makes sense
Mhm.
for a sniper-based character.
Yeah, for
I can
sure.
get like all the way on top of cage. Like it's wild. Anyway, yeah, overpowered, underpowered. So I guess we got a name. I'm trying to think of another underpowered character, and I think who's the first one that comes to mind for you?
Underpowered?
Yeah,
Crypto probably.
yeah. That nobody uses crypto. I did get hit by an EMP. Were you in that game with me?
Yeah, I've gotten hit by an EMP, and there's been a couple situations where it's like
It's short range
when you
EMP.
can send the crypto drone to pick up your teammates' banners. Like that's
That's cool.
that's cool. That's a very very specific situational use case for
Yeah.
that, which is nice. But like overall, I don't know. I There's no interest in using him. Um, yeah, I would say he's the one, like the number one that comes to mind. And
Yeah.
then let's see, who would be another one?
Didn't they add in mobile? I think mobile now, like the crypto, like the bot, like follows you and like can, like you can put the little bot out and it will
So
mark people for you.
that is actually in Apex Mobile.
Yeah,
Yes.
mobile.
Yeah. They're
I kind
buffing
of wish they did that. They
they're
should do that in
buffing
regular.
crypto where it's like the bot will always follow you and you can tell where people are, and like that's cool. Like what an
They should.
awesome way
They should
to
do that.
implement that as a buff in PC and console
That's what I'm
Apex.
saying.
It's like, dude, easy buff right there that would actually make people use him or entice
Well,
people to use him. I would say you can't really
I
make
think
anybody
that's
use him.
good, but also at the same time, like there's got to be some kind of balance for them because I'm sure they think about like they're every time they release a new character, it's usually pretty good because they
Yeah,
kind of need it to be good because they want people to spend money on it.
yeah, they want
So,
people to use him.
yeah. Um, what else? That's our
Okay,
overpowered, underpowered.
yeah. Well, I gave one underpowered. Hold on. I'm looking at the
You
list
another one
right
you
now.
think?
So
Another one
I've
you think?
and it's not necessarily underpowered. There's a couple that I'm interested in from like a maybe I'll try them out at some point, and I think that they have some serious potential that not
Hmm.
a ton of people talk about. And I do also want to talk about what you had mentioned with the possible changes to Pathfinder that it's one of there's an Apex fan who like came up with a
Oh yeah, yeah. We actually had to.
good way to change that. So
Yeah,
let's actually touch base on that really quick because you were talking about Pathfinder. So there was there's a
got
Reddit
on a rant.
there's a Reddit thread of like one it's and this is a fan theory of like what you can do to buff Pathfinder and actually make it more enticing to use. But essentially, and I'll pull this up on the screen right now. Um, but because all of the recon characters can scan, what they're saying to do is add a circle on the map at the start of the game when you're in the dropship that shows the first ring of where it's going to go. Because you know how many times we go to like caustic treatment
Caustic.
or anywhere like crash site, any of the outer POIs on the map,
Yep.
and you have to run all the way across the map because you don't know where that first circle is going to be and it pulls all the way to the other side. It's a big advantage from a movement standpoint and rotation standpoint
Yeah.
to not have to travel very far. So I would say from just from a like a advantage to your rotations and knowing where everything is off the bat, that would entice me to try Pathfinder just to
Yeah.
see like giving you that immediate edge out of the drop ship. Does that help to change your ranked experience a little bit?
Maybe that, and also like maybe this was not him that gave this idea, but uh, decrease that charge time
Mm-hmm.
on the passive
Mm-hmm.
or the tactical, I guess, with the because it's I don't know what it is now. It's probably like 15 seconds, but like it's really like not that usable, honestly. If you want it to be an actual advantage for path. But yeah, I love this idea. I love this idea of knowing the first circle because I mean, and that's unique to. It would be unique to Pathfinder. There is no legend. I mean, think it makes me think of Valk. Like the advantage of knowing exactly where the teams are when you're flying in the air is uh very unique to Valk and makes sense.
100%.
I just see you messing with the Sag cam scuffed.
Not working, broken. Sorry. Yes, I 100% agree with you. And I'm actually going to pull up, I've got the list of all of the official characters or the legends, sorry, from Apex's website. Um,
Bring them up.
couple just like thoughts on who I'm interested in how to maybe improve a couple of the characters. Ash is one. I was watching his Watson today, who's one of the top Apex players, competes in the professional league, and he brought up a good point with Ash where her ult would be better if you're not as limited as you are in where you can actually put it. It's like if
Mhm.
you can see somewhere on the map, you should be able to Ash ult to it. And it should know that like if you're going up, you have to be up on a platform and it like will put you up there. But I feel like there are so many instances, and from when I was maining Ash for a little while before Seer, there were instances where it was like it's almost hard to place the um I can't even think of
The old thing,
yeah,
whatever it is. Yeah.
like the whatever it's called. It's hard to place exactly where you want to rip the portal.
Mm.
And if it just like throws it out to wherever you're pointing at, and you can almost get a little bit more um specific with where you want it, I think it would improve it. And get a little bit of the range, take a little bit of that off. I would like to see it be more similar to like Pathfinder's ult, where you can flip that rope up and get a zip line. Like, think about how far you can send a zip line with Pathfinder.
Mhm.
Do
Mhm.
something similar with Ash and make it so you can go even further than you already can. I think Ash is good. She has her situations where you can get out of trouble. You can push teams in third party really well with it.
Yeah.
But
That's what scares me.
if you get that range a little bit further out, I'm interested to possibly go back there if somebody else would jump into Seer on our team, or have somebody try out Ash. I think that is pretty interesting. The other one, honestly, that I'm kind of interested in is Revenant. From some of the videos that I've seen, people using Revenant of just like having the mindset
Basically,
of you can go in and just guns ablazing because you're immediately going to go back to your death totem if you die. It's like that is such a huge advantage when you're third partying teams and pushing into multiple teams at once on Kings
mhm.
Canyon, where I feel like Kings Canyon is the perfect map for Revenant to be used on, because of there are so many situations where you're constantly getting third partied. You are the ones doing the third
Oh
partying.
yeah.
I'm curious about him. I'd be
You might have
interested.
you might have kind of convinced me. I think you should use them.
I'd be
We should
interested.
test them out.
Yeah, I'd be interested to test him out for just for a couple games and see how it goes. Because having the the peace of mind of knowing that we're gonna third party this team and everybody locks into
Dude,
that death totem, boom, right there. You've
hold on.
automatically got a second chance.
Can you imagine if it were like, what I'm thinking of is that building up above the hill. It's kind of a, like where bunker is.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
and you go up the hill and there's a couple buildings. You know what just a blender we'd put people in if Sean was caustic and put traps in a building and we did the death totem and no, actually to
Be
start
nuts.
this, Vantage, I scoped out and saw the hill, put a couple shots on some of these guys at those buildings. We push, we do the death totem, and then Sean gasses everybody in the
It'd be
building.
nuts. You just like automatically have that peace of mind. You've got the advantage. So like, I don't know, man. Revenant is one where I may dabble with a little bit of him and see how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
I was playing a random Phil's game, and it was a game of ranked. This was last season. I was a third with two guys who were playing together very clearly, and the Revenant on my team, we ended up winning, but he got 4K damage, and he would just throw his death totem down, and just we'd be flying at
Jet.
people. I think he had like 8 or 9 kills. I had 4 or 5, and all of that. And Matt, I know my camera's frozen. There's a note on the screen.
It says he doesn't understand your language.
Where have you been?
Sag cam scuffed means
The
camera
camera
does not work.
camera is scuffed. Sag.
Sag means sad. Cam is scuffed, which means it doesn't work.
Thank you for
So,
translating.
get it now.
I tried to fix it, but it's not working right now. So rip.
Thought that was Latin or something. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm Latin. Um, so we'll see. We may be dabbling with a little bit of Revenant. Open up Seer for somebody if they want to use them. We will give Matt a big old W for switching to Horizon, because I'm a big fan of having a Horizon on my team, being able to drop that lift down and move around a little bit easier.
Hmm.
So lots of things to consider as we continue to grind season 14 ranked
Put me back in. Let's go.
into plat now. The goal for this season is to hit diamond, and we're only going up from here. So we will report back on how that's going next week.
Yeah, I can't get past plat 4, so we'll
Yeah,
see. We keep losing RP.
right now we're hard stuck on plat 4 because I feel like we keep cycling multiple people in and out,
That's
and
true.
that's where we're lacking a little bit of consistency. So it's more of like a, well, we want to play with the boys, so that's what we're doing,
Yep.
and we're sacrificing a little bit of that teamwork and consistency there, but that's a-okay because we're having a good
It's
time
all
doing it.
good.
So Sean actually did the math of like by the split, if you can hit, I think it's like plat 2, then you have a much easier time getting to diamond in the second half of the season
Mm,
because you don't drop as far down. So that's the
good to
goal.
know.
That's the goal by the split is plat
Plat
2.
2.
But ultimately this season we want to try and hit diamond. We're gonna get there.
You're
Ear.
bring me
Okay,
in.
that's it
Put
for
me
this
in.
week. We're gonna wrap things up. Thank you guys for
Do it.
joining us. For those of you who had, again, apologies for my camera not working. It scuffed out about Matt. Scuff means broken.
Goodbye. Sad.
Scuffed out about
Sad.
15 minutes in, and I've just been looking down at my phone this entire
Or something
freaking
else.
video, or something else, I guess. Thank you to Matthew for leaking the name of my dog, Banner. We're very excited to have you
LOL.
here. He will be live and in person next week. And yeah, thanks for joining us.
Simba.
Make sure to like and subscribe down below.
Please.
Appreciate you all, and we'll see you next week.